So, what is the state of the two-state solution now? As the leaders of the free world, President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu meet this week in the White House in Washington, D.C., this question was posed to Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, as well as another interesting question, a question about Zohran Mamdani, the possible mayor of New York City, who's claimed that if he is elected mayor of New York City and Bibi Netanyahu comes for a visit, he will have him arrested. Listen to what Bibi had to say when asked this interesting question.
So this is a question to the Prime Minister. The likely next mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic Socialist, the vocal critic of Israel and of yourself, and has said he would arrest you if you came to New York City if he was mayor. Is that something you take seriously, or are you concerned about that? Do you have a response to that?
No, I'm not concerned about that.
I'll get him out.
Look, there's enough craziness in the world, but I guess it never ends. I mean, you have this is folly, and it's silly in many ways because it's just not serious. But what is serious is the question I was asked before. You know, after October 7th, people said the Palestinians had a state, Hamas state in Gaza, and look what they did with it. They didn't build it up; they built down into bunkers, into terror tunnels, after which they massacred our people, raped our women, beheaded our men, invaded our cities and our towns and our kibbutzim, and did horrendous massacres, the kind of which we didn't see since World War II and the Nazis, the Holocaust. So people aren't likely to say, let's just give them another state, it'll be a platform to destroying Israel. We'll work out a peace with our Palestinian neighbors, those who don't want to destroy us, and we'll work out a peace in which our security, the sovereign power of security, always remains in our hands. Now, people will say it's not a complete state, it's not a state, it's not that. We don't care. You know, we vowed never again. Never again is now. It's not going to happen again.
So we'll see you in New York next year?
Oh, well, look, I'm going to come there with the President Trump, and we'll see how do you know who the mayor will be? I don't know that. Do we know that?
He's going to be very fine, and who knows? We don't know who the mayor's going to be yet. But this is a communist. He's not a socialist. He's a communist. And he said some really bad things about Jewish people, and he said some really bad things about a lot of people. And I think he's going through a little bit of a honeymoon right now, but he might make it. But, you know, it all comes through the White House. He needs the money through the White House. He needs a lot. He's going to behave. He'll behave. He better behave. Otherwise, he's going to have big problems. But it's a philosophy that this country is not ready for, and it never will be.
When talking about a two-state solution, it's interesting to realize that in 2005, Israel created a two-state solution. Though the Palestinians were offered a two-state solution at least 5 times over the past 75 years or so, more. And each time they rejected it because they were never actually interested in a two-state solution. They were interested only in a one-state solution, a state in which there are no Jews. In 2005, Israel unilaterally disengaged from Gaza in order to give them a two-state solution. And we saw what happened. The result was October 7th. The result was a violence beyond our wildest dreams and expectations, brutality, evil personified. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. This conversation about a two-state solution as somehow as a reward for October 7th would be a gift to terrorists all over the world to tell them that if your brutality, if your evil, if your violence is so evil, then you will indeed be gifted with your ambitions fulfilled. We owe this to humanity, to let them know, to let the terrorists know that evil, violence will never be rewarded. They need to set an example right now. The world needs to set an example to let the terrorists know that you cannot bully your way to fulfill your dreams and ambitions. The Palestinians already had a two-state solution. It was a dismal failure. And God willing, through strength, there will be peace. Like the Torah says, "Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen." The Torah says that peace, God will bring peace upon us and upon all the people of Israel. But it says, Hashem oz la'amo yiten, Hashem yivarech et amo b'shalom. God will bless his people with peace, with strength. And only afterwards it says God will bless his people with peace. Because when there's first strength, that's when peace will follow. If you start off with weakness, there's never going to be strength. It's only when you begin with strength, that's when peace will follow. May God inspire the leaders of our two nations to have the courage, the character, the spine, to be able to stand up for what's right, to be able to bring peace to the region, not only to the peace to the Jewish people, but peace to the Arab people as well, so that we can coexist with love and with harmony, all of us in the image of God.